So, you want to discuss some Dhamma? You want to ask any question?
So far no, but Ajahn can give us some Dhamma thoughts.
I'll give you a summary of what I said just now. Basically, I told the difference between money and Dhamma. Most people look for money to solve their problem, but money can only solve half the problem and create some more problem. The money can solve your physical problem, your physical need, your body. When you have money, then you can buy food, buy clothing, buy house, buy medicine. But at the same time, it can also increase your problem, your mental problem, because then you can become impacted if you run out of money. When you run out of money, then your mind will become will hurt your mind. And when you look for money, it's also taxing on the mind. You have to worry where you're gonna find the money, where you get the money, and once you get the money, how you're gonna protect it. So by using money to solve your problem, you can only solve half of the problem, your physical need problem, but you cannot solve your mental problem. In fact, you are increasing more mental problem by relying on money, because money is not something that can always rely on. It can come and go anytime. So this is what the rich country are facing nowadays. They are rich, they got plenty of money, but they still face the problem of not having enough money to take care of their people, like health care. In America, they're having a problem right now with health care because the country is divided into two ideology. The rich would say that everybody should take care of themselves, while the poor said they should tax the rich so they can get the money from the rich to help the poor. So they are fighting against each other for the tax money, how to spend it. The rich said they should not be taxed. They should lower taxes, so they can keep money more for themselves. The poor, they say you should tax more so that the poor can be protected, they can have free medical coverage. And the cost of medical care is rising, ballooning, to the point where they don't know how to manage it. See, this is a problem when you use money to solve problem. But if you use Dhamma, then you will solve the problem. Like in ancient Buddhism culture, people solve their physical need by becoming monks. When you become monks, you have free food, you have free housing, you have all the physical need taken care of. And then you also have the time to come and solve your mental problem. And the mental problem are caused by your ceaseless desire, ceaseless cravings. You keep on desiring, craving for better and better things, better food, better clothing, better housing, and it does the same job, and it cannot protect your body anyway. Eventually, your body will still get old, get sick, and die. So why spend so much resources and time on your body? So that's why the Buddha said, just live like a poor person. Just have enough to exist, enough food to eat, enough a place to stay to protect your body. Doesn't have to be expensive condos or mansion or anything like that. then you can then have the time to devote to solving your real problem. Your real problem is your mind that is ceaselessly desiring, craving. This is what you have to stop, see. And the only way to stop it is use the development of mindfulness, samadhi, and wisdom. So you need to have wisdom. You have to have mindfulness to stop your mind from thinking. When you stop your thinking, then your desire also stops, because your desire rely on your thinking. It has to depend on your thinking in order to get for the desire, the craving to arise. When you think of money, you have suddenly you desire to want more, or desire to protect what you have. Yeah. So your mind becomes restless and agitated, not happy, even though you have lots of money. But because you worry about the money that you have, how you going to protect it, how you going to make it grow. Yeah. So instead of having happiness by having lots of money turn out to cause you more problem, more mental problem. So the best way is to stop you from thinking. When you stop thinking, your mind becomes peaceful and calm. Your mind forget about money, forget about everything, and your mind becomes happy, content. The mind actually doesn't need anything, but due to the mind's delusion, it thinks that needs to have a body to make it happy. Because once you have a body, you can go and see, hear, and find happiness from seeing things, hearing things. You know. But the happiness that you get also accompanied by suffering, by sadness, when you cannot see or hear what you want to see or hear. So the Buddha have discovered the truth that the mind should not rely on anything to make it happy. The only thing that the mind should rely on to make it happy is Dhamma, mindfulness, samadhi, and wisdom, panya. If you have this, then you can keep the mind peaceful and calm and content and happy. Then the mind doesn't need to have a body. Once you have no body, you don't need to work, you don't need money, you don't need a house to stay. The Buddha now is living without a house, without the body. He lives in Nibbana, a place where the mind is perfectly content, perfectly calm, perfectly peaceful. The mind of the Buddha and your mind, our mind, never ceases, never disappears, could never be destroyed. But it exists either happy by craving or happy without craving. Our mind exists with craving. We need craving to make us happy. But at the same time, it also makes us sad when we cannot get what we crave for, or when we lose what we have for. So the Buddha said this is not the way to exist. The way to exist is to exist without craving. So he meditated, stop his craving, using wisdom, the truth, to tell him that craving is bad for you. Craving is not good for you. Every time you crave, you have to get rid of it. And he did that until there are no longer any craving left in his mind. So he doesn't need to have anything to make him happy. So he lives without having anything. And this kind of happiness will last forever. But the happiness with craving, it only lasts when you have what you crave for. When you lose what you crave for, then happiness disappears and sadness come. And every time you have a body, no matter how good your body is, no matter how wealthy you can become, it's only temporary. Sooner or later your body will get old, get sick and die. Then all the happiness that you have from your body will disappear. And then you're left with nothing. And that's why it forces you to go have a new body, to start over again. And you don't know what kind of body you're going to get, a rich body or a poor body. So this is the cycle of rebirth. You keep going through. Each time you never know what kind of new body you're gonna get, good or bad, rich or poor. So it's better not to rely on the body. It's better not to rely on happiness that arises from your craving. Better rely on the happiness that arises from stop your craving. That's what the Buddha did, and that's what he taught us to do. We are fortunate to come across his teaching, because if we don't, we would never know how to find the real happiness. We will find the same kind of happiness that we've been used to find in our previous lives, is to go after our cravings. And we get happy for a while, and then when we lose what we get, then we become sad. We will become sad when we get old, when we get sick, and when we die. But if you have the happiness that arises from having no craving, then you will always be happy, no matter what happens to your body. Your body can get old, get sick, or die, or your body can run out of money, no food. It will not affect the happiness of the mind. So the Buddha said, the taste of Dhamma excel all taste. The taste of Dhamma is better than any taste. Put it easily, the taste of Dhamma is better than the taste of money. So stop searching, looking for money, and start searching and looking for Dhamma. Once you have Dhamma, then you don't need to have money. Like monks, like teachers that have become enlightened, they don't need the money. The money that they've been given, they usually pass it on to other people who are in need. Because they don't need to have money. Everything is, the mind is happy and content, and the body is taken care of by the lay people. Every morning you go on your arms round and you get more than you can eat already. So there's no need for money once you have Dhamma. But if you have no Dhamma, you need money. Even if you're a monk, you'll find monks who still raise money so that they can go here and there, build this and that. And no matter how much they build, they still want to build more. And what's the purpose of building all this pagoda, this jedi, this temple? What does it do? It's just an ornament to Buddhism. So the Buddha said, look for Dhamma, don't look for money. So this is more or less the summary of what I just said. Understand? Okay. How long have you been studying Buddhism?
5 to 6 years.
5 to 6 years.
I practice samatha, and now is vipassana for an year.
How do you start? With reading books, or you meeting monks?
First, I'm sick. I'm having depression. So the first time I walked in, someone introduced me to the monastery in Malaysia, JD. So the first time I walked into the monastery, I feel freedom. And then I start meditate. So my depression recovered.
I see.
So I start practicing until today.
So you find the benefits of the Dhamma.
Yes.
It can cure your sickness, your mental sickness.
Yes.
So now you are hooked on Dhamma.
I have a taste of that.
Okay, and you want to have more.
Yes.
You want to be able to be totally free from suffering.
Yes.
So you have to be always mindful, because mindful will stop your mind from creating suffering. You need mindfulness, and you need wisdom or panya. Panya will tell you your mind to stop cravings, and your mindfulness will stop you from craving. If you have these two, then you will be protected from all forms of mental suffering. So you don't work or anything?
Yeah, I work.
You're working also?
Yeah.
But you find time to meditate?
Yes, daily.
Daily life, yeah.
Daily life. And watching my mind for a whole day mindfulness.
Really? Why you work?
As an executive in office. So also practice meditation daily and listen to the Dhamma talk, all kind of Dhamma talk daily.
And you find it sufficient to protect you from mental suffering?
No.
Not
I'm
yet.
looking forward for full time.
For more. You see, you need full-time practice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I need that.
Part-time is not enough.
Right now. I'm looking forward for a teacher, finding a teacher. And then I wish to stay into the monastery to practice. Must be full time.
Yeah.
Part time cannot.
Do you have a family?
Yes. One son.
One son.
15 years old.
But you can leave them and go on and have your full practice?
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so.
They let you?
Yes.
They're happy with your decision if you want to make that decision?
Yes. Yeah.
They understand?
They understand.
They don't obstruct?
Last time yes, but recently they fully support.
Okay.
Yeah, they can see my changes, my lifestyle change, everything change.
Feel happier?
Yeah, feel happier, no angry, very calm.
Less annoying?
Yes, very peaceful.
Yeah.
Even though I'm practicing in the office, everybody also
happy
because it's happy and happy, peaceful.
Because you don't cause any problem with other people.
No problem. So everybody like me. They will ask me, why you keep smiling every day?
Just like during the time of the Buddha, there was a rich man who became a monk, and after he practiced and became enlightened, he was so happy. He couldn't help resist saying, "Oh, I'm so happy, I'm so happy." Wherever he walked, he just keeps saying, "Oh, I'm so happy, happy." And the monk said, "This monk is not mindful. You know, how come he keeps saying things like this? He's supposed to be, mindful and not saying things, you know." So they reported to the Buddha, and the Buddha called him up and asked him, "What's wrong with you? How come you're not reserved? How come you're not keeping quiet? How come you keep saying, 'I'm so happy, I'm so happy'?" He said, "Lord, before when I was a rich man, I had lots of money, but I never found this kind of happiness. But once I have become a monk and have become enlightened, I'm so happy, and this feeling I can't resist letting it out, you know. So I'm keeping saying, 'Oh, I'm so happy, I'm so happy.'"
The taste of peacefulness.
Yeah, the taste of Dhamma.
Dhamma.
Yeah. Excel all taste. Yeah. So okay, you're on the right path. All you have to do now is to do more. Do more mindfulness, do more practice. Yeah. Dana, you can do it. You can do it in, it's a matter of writing a check, you can do that also. If you find dana interfere with your practice, then you should somehow do it in a way that it doesn't interfere. You don't have to go cook the food and give to the monk, You can just write the check and give to the temple, and then you just don't have the time to meditate. As long as your dana doesn't interfere with your practice, then you can do it. If it interferes, you can either suspend it for a while you practice, or if you feel that you don't need this money, then just give it all up at the one time. One time, give it all up, and then you don't have to worry about it anymore, about dana. Then you can concentrate on your meditation practice. Because sometimes if you still worry about giving dana and meditate, it can interfere with each other. Because when you meditate, you want to be alone. But when you give dana, you have to come to see people, meet people. So you have to know how to manage these two Dhamma.
But both must be practiced, right?
No, well, yes, but it's like a step. See, dana is like a step to your sila, and sila is the step to your meditation. Once you're meditating, then you should be in a position to give out your dana at one go, at one time. and don't have to worry about it anymore. So all the money that you think you're going to spend for dana, just give it at one time. Then you don't have to worry about giving it anymore. Just keep what you need to support yourself. But what you don't need, just give it to anybody. Give to your son, your daughters, your husband, the temple, or the charity of your choice. So you don't have to worry about this money. Then you can have the time to concentrate on your meditation practice alone.
I have a feeling of the more practice that I have, the more that I feeling the money is very burdened.
Burdensome.
I have a very strong feeling of my money is burden.
Yes. Yeah.
Worrying, burden. It's like conflict.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cause your mind to be agitated,
yes.
Not calm.
Yes.
So you have to use charity to get rid of this problem. Give it away.
Yeah, because this is why I start doing a lot of dana.
Dana, yeah, okay.
Because I know that money is causing me irritation.
Yeah. If you cannot leave it alone, then you have to get rid of it. If you can leave it alone, then it's okay also. Just leave it in the bank and forget about it, and go meditate. It doesn't matter whether it's still there or not when you come back. But if you don't want to risk, then just give it away. Give it to charity so they can use it for helping other people, and it will make you feel good that way. That's what the Buddha did. He gave up his princely life. He gave up his heritage as a prince. He didn't take anything with you. When he went to meditate, he only took himself, and he didn't want anything to bother him. See? And he never contacted the palace after he left him. It's only after he became enlightened, and when he then came to the palace to teach, to help other people.
The more practice, then I feel that the less I have, I'm more happy.
Yeah. The more you practice, the more you want seclusion.
Yes.
The more you want solitude.
Yes.
You don't want to get involved with people or things, because it stirs up the mind, agitate the mind.
Yes. Yes. This is what I'm doing. But I have a problem with because it's pretty hard to get the place and the teacher to get a full time. This is why I keep looking for place and the teacher.
Yeah, you can stay here for 7 days. Unfortunately, we cannot let you stay longer because we have a small accommodating capacity, and we have many people who wants to come and stay. So everyone has to take turn and come and stay for 7 days. But I heard there are some other monasteries in which they allow you to stay for long term. So you have to go look around.
With a good teacher. It's very important.
Usually a good teacher usually have too many people going to see to him. So you need a good teacher, but not well known.
Not well known. Oh, okay.
If you have a good teacher and he's well known, then usually there's many people going to his monastery. But you can start by going there, and then you can ask around, because there are many teachers who are not yet famous, who might be the student of this teacher, who has developed and now has build his own monastery, and nobody knows anything about him yet. Then when then you will have a good teacher there and a quiet environment to practice.
What is the quality of good teacher?
Well, you have to talk and read his teaching, whether it enlightens you or not, it helps you or not. If it doesn't help you, then it's not a good teacher for you. Because some good teacher or some popular teacher might not be good teacher for you, because he's not teaching meditation. He might teaching dana instead, or teaching you to building.
In Malaysia, a lot.
But it's not good for you.
Pretty hard to find a good teacher in Malaysia. It's more to building, dana, building, a lot of big building, monastery, more and more.
So good teacher takes time.
Yes.
You have to look around, have to ask around. or you can search in the internet. And just, I don't know. When I first started, I have to look around, and I was fortunate to run into a book called A Guide to Buddhist Meditation Monastery in Thailand, in which this person, he went to visit all the meditation monastery, and then he will give a brief summary of what kind of teacher, what kind of place the place is. Yeah. But this book is already 40 years old. I'm not sure whether it still has been updated or not. You can search in the internet, just Buddhist monastery in Thailand.
Buddhist monastery.
Yeah, it's printed by the WF, the World Fellowship of Buddhists.
Okay.
Yeah. I think if you just put in the keyword World Fellowship of Buddhist Monastery, Guide to Buddhist Monastery in Thailand, I think you'll probably run into it.
Another thing is, like, if I'm looking for a teacher in Thailand, the main problem is the language.
Yeah, so there are many factors you have to consider.
Yes.
So it's not easy.
Yeah.
Maybe you have to use a combination of teachers. You come to me for the English, and then you go look for a place to stay in a different. Nowadays you can use the internet, because I'm always on live broadcast.
Yeah.
So anytime you can send in a question. You might be in another monastery, and you might be watching my talk, and if you want to send in question, you can just send in directly, or we have a website in which you can leave the question, and then I think once a month we will collect all these questions and answer them through this live broadcast, and then we'll put it up on YouTube, so you can go and wait for the answer there, look for the answer there. Or you can come here from time to time.
Yeah.
You can always come and stay for 7 days.
For 7 days.
Yeah.
7 days, after 7 days, I must go out for 1-2 days, come in again for
Possible.
7 days.
Possible. Yeah.
Possible.
Yeah.
1-2 days, then come in
Yeah.
7
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
Possible. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. If that I can plan it.
Depends if we have a spare room when you extend.
Oh.
If it's nobody booked and there's still room for you, then you can have it. But if somebody else booked, then you might have to wait until there is a space available.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, you might be able to move to the aging center and spend a night there, and then come back the next day.
So it's possible.
Yeah, you can do that.
Okay, good. I like this place. It's good
Okay.
for practice. Yeah.
You have anything else you want to ask?
Actually, quite a lot on practice thing, but I haven't summarized it. But currently, I'm having a problem. I don't know whether it's a problem or not, because when I practice samatha, it's also after 4 or 5 years, it switched to 4 elements. Then currently, every time I'm sitting, it's also a lot of shaking.
A lot of what? Shaking.
Yes.
That means you're not having enough mindfulness.
Not enough mindfulness.
No. You should use either a mantra or watch your breath. Don't just sit there and having nothing to control your mind. You need a controller. You need mindfulness to control your mind. So you either use a mantra if you can. If you can, you might need chanting first, because sometimes your mind is agitated and restless, and you cannot use the mantra Bhutto Bhutto. Then you might have to use chanting first. Chant for half an hour to make your mind calmer. Then after you feel calm enough to either use a mantra or watch your breath, then you do that. But you should not sit down and just leave the mind alone.
But I have an object actually.
What do you have?
Because it started with when 2 years ago I went to Taiwan. So it's automatically, I don't know when I sit, it become, the teacher say it's 4 elements. So most of the time is I feel the wind is very strong. So it's movement. So they teach us to like maybe watch the movement. Just focus on the object of the movement.
No, that's not right.
Oh, not right. Oh.
If you want to use the wind, watch your breath. Your breath is your wind element. Just keep focusing on one thing. You need focusing. You need something fixed, stationary. You don't want to watch everything moving around. You want to keep your mind still. But when you first start, when your mind is restless, you can use chanting or mantra. And when you feel your mind is calm enough to just watch your breath, then just keep watching your breath.
Okay. Because I also have a doubt on that. Because why last time practice samatha is only watching the thing. But when it start change to this, it keep moving.
Yeah. That's more for vipassana.
Yes.
When you use the four elements, you really want to use vipassana. Vipassana doesn't make you calm, but it makes you understanding.
Understand. A lot of thinking.
Yeah. So it's the two different kind of practice.
So can I practice that?
No, because you don't have enough samatha to use to apply vipassana in your. See, the goal of using vipassana is to get rid of your defilement. But if you don't have samatha, you won't have the strength to get rid of your defilement. Even when you see that you have to get rid of it, you cannot get rid of it. Like you want to use when you contemplate on the four elements, you want to contemplate it on your body. You want to look at your body as the four elements. See? And if you can see the body as a four element, then you should be able to let go of your body, not attached to your body. Then you should not be affected whether the body lives or dies, whether the body gets old or not, whether the body gets sick or not. See, if you see it just a four element. But if you don't have strong samatha, you will not be able to leave the body alone. When you feel you're getting sick, you will start to worry. When you know you're gonna die, you're gonna become very afraid. But if you see the body as the four element, not as being you, right now you're seeing the body as being you. You have to look at the body as being the four elements, and then you have to let go. If you don't have samatha, you cannot let go.
How we know that we have enough samatha?
Well, your mind to have to enter into fourth jhana. When your mind have ubekha, and still and separated from the body. All that is left is just the knower, the mind. Then once you can separate from the body that way, then you can use vipassana to tell your mind to let go of the body. Okay? Alright. I think I'll do some Thai. There are people waiting to ask some question live.